two people sharing ideas.
Okay. There are two people in this photo. There's an older woman in the middle. She's talking to a younger man on the right, I think. They work together. Or maybe she's his teacher. They're talking about a photo. And there are more photos at the bottom of the picture. They look very happy with their work. Their office is in the background. Or perhaps it's a school.
Okay, right. Wonderful. So would anybody like to tell me the extra details? So what did we hear in the listening? What was different about how the boy described the image? Would anybody like to tell me the extra details that you heard in the listening? What did they describe? You want to try to put your... Yeah, so Sania, would you like to tell me? Yeah.
I think the extra, that means something exceptional, what we heard in the video was that that they had described that it might be a school campus, school building, in which teacher and the student are having that conversation related to the particular picture.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, yeah, great. Sonia, thank you very much. Yes, so this person's described the building as, a school building, perhaps. So maybe this lady isn't a manager, but she's a school teacher, perhaps. Okay. And how did you hear? So did you hear what prepositions the student in the recording use? So what prepositions did the student in the recording use? Can anybody remember? We will listen again so we can review it. We'll listen again. And this time I'd like you to listen for the prepositions that the student is using, okay? Okay, so we'll listen again. So listen for the prepositions the student is using. If you'd like to, you could note these with a pen on your paper, if that's easier for you. Okay, so we'll listen again.
Now I'd like you to talk on your own about something. I'm going to give you a photograph and I'd like you to talk about it. Here is your photograph. It shows two people sharing ideas.
Okay. There are two people in this photo. There's an older woman in the middle. She's talking to a younger man on the right, I think. They work together. Or maybe she's his teacher. They're talking about a photo. And there are more photos at the bottom of the picture. They look very happy with their work. Their office is in the background. Or perhaps it's a school.
Okay, so Boyjo, would you like to tell me what you heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what prepositions did you hear?
Yes, ma'am. They are used in and on.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Bottom also.
And in and on.
Perfect. Okay, so Roger, thank you very much. Yes, so they use in and on and at the bottom. Yeah, absolutely.
At the bottom. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. At the bottom.
Fantastic. Thank you, Roger. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And Dibi?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. There is also a preposition that is used. There is about. In,
fantastic.
About, on,
okay.
A, to.
Yeah. And behind also.
And about. Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So we're using all of these different prepositions to describe what we think it is that they're doing and the surrounding around them. Okay. So when we listen to the boy, so thank you very much for your answers. So when we listen to the boy describing the image, he uses some vocabulary when he isn't certain of what he's looking at. Okay. So he might use phrases like, I think, and maybe. So I think the boy, or I think the teacher is a student, maybe it's a school building. So we can use language like this when we're not certain about what we're looking at. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen once more to the recording, and then we're going to analyze some of the vocabulary in the recording. So here on my screen, you'll see some sentences here. So we've got 7 sentences. And what I'd like you to do is try to, if possible, note down on your paper the correct use of the word. Okay, so for example, you'll see here in number 1, okay, there are 2 people in this photo. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is decide which of the 2 options you think is the appropriate word or option for the sentence. Okay, so we'll listen again now, and then we'll review it once we've listened. Okay, so you're just choosing the correct option of the 2 in each sentence. Okay, we'll listen again now. Here we go.
Now I'd like you to talk on your own about something. I'm going to give you a photograph and I'd like you to talk about it. Here is your photograph. It shows 2 people sharing ideas.
Okay. There are 2 people in this photo. There's an older woman in the middle. She's talking to a younger man on the right, I think. They work together. Or maybe she's his teacher. They're talking about a photo. And there are more photos at the bottom of the picture. They look very happy with their work. Their office is in the background. Or perhaps it's a school.
Okay, right then, so let's have a look at some of our sentences. So what I'll do, fantastic, thank you. So who have we got? So yeah, so perhaps we could have Anjan. Would you like to try to look at some of the sentence, perhaps the first and second sentence?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. The first one is said that there are 2 people in the photo, and number 2, it will be there's an old woman. There is an older woman in the middle.
Brilliant, fantastic. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So we've got there are, because it's plural, 2 people, and there is an older woman in the middle. Fantastic, wonderful. Thank you very much, Anjan. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
would anybody? Thank you. Would anybody like to have a look at the 3rd and 4th sentence? So perhaps if we have.
She is talking to a younger man on the right.
Okay,
And
fantastic.
fourth one, I think they work together.
Yeah.
Or maybe she is a teacher.
Fantastic. So I think they work together, or maybe she's a teacher. Fantastic. So thank you very much, Pooja. So yeah, so maybe. So there's our vocabulary. So we don't know, but perhaps she is a teacher. Maybe she's his teacher. Okay, thank you very much. So let's have a look then at the 5th and 6th sentence. Would anybody like to try to check those for me? So if you let me know, let's see. Yeah.
Ma'am, can I
So
say?
They are talking about a photo and there are more photos at the picture. 6
okay.
people, they look very happy with their work.
Fantastic. Yeah. And with this one, so we've got with their work. Yep. So there's going to be there because it's personable. So it's their item, and not to describe there as a position. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And finally, number 7. Would anybody like to? We could have perhaps Deepak.
Background, or perhaps it's a school.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Wonderful. Lovely.
Perhaps
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you ever so much. It's really nice to have everybody do that. Okay, so yeah, their office is in the background, or perhaps it's a school. So again, we can use this if we're not sure of exactly what we're looking at. Okay, right. So would anybody like to try just to quickly to describe the image using some of this perhaps and maybe vocabulary? Would anybody like to try to describe the image? You're welcome if you'd like to. If anybody would like to try to use the perhaps and use the structures to describe it yourself. Would anybody like to try to do that? Yeah, Sina, would you like to? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these 2 words are used right because like there is not the confirmation that is it a school or an office.
Okay.
It might be that anything, it could be any one of them.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can use it. It might be, perhaps it is, maybe it is. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some of the structures that we might use, okay, in this type of description, okay? So we're using there are or theirs, there is for singular. So let's have a look. We're going to go down a little bit and just look at some of the language that we might be using in this section of the speak. Okay, so if we look here, so the verb look is used in 3 different ways here. Okay, so would someone like to read the 3 sentences for me?
Yes, ma'am. This is they look very happy with their work.
Yeah.
And he looks like a student. And the third one is it looks like they work together.
Fantastic. Okay, right. So wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. So we can use look to describe what
Yes.
we're looking. Yeah, in different ways. Absolutely. So
Yes,
he. Yeah, wonderful. So he looked like a student.
May I describe?
Yes, of course. Please do. Yeah.
Yes, because he is the third person singular number. So whenever we are talking about third person singular number, we always have to add s or es right after the main verb. And look is here is the main verb. So that reason we have to add a s there.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you ever so much. That's wonderful. It's great that you've described that. Yeah, absolutely right. So this is the way that we can kind of depict between the 3 different uses of this, of look. Okay, to look. Okay, so if we have a look, yeah, lovely. If we have a look again at the first sentence, so we've got which form is followed by a noun. So which sentence is followed by a noun? So which sentence would we see there? If we describe it again, thank you for describing it. So which is followed by a noun?
Second sentence, ma'am.
Yeah, the second sentence. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so we've got he looks. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so he looks plus the noun, like a student. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, and the second one, so which is followed by a clause, so a verb and the subject and the verb. Which sentence do we use for that one?
Then the first sentence.
Okay, yeah, so this one, if we've got the subject plus the verb. Now here, this would be, yeah, the third sentence. It looks like they plus work
Number
is the
3.
verb. Yeah, wonderful, yeah. Okay, so
Exactly.
it looks like they work together. Okay, so it looks like they work because here, work is used as the noun. Okay, they look very happy with their work. That's the noun. In the third, it looks like they work, the verb, together. Okay, great. And then finally, in which sentence is an adjective used to describe the image? In which sentence is is there an adjective used?
Ma'am, I think first one.
Okay.
Look
And
very
first
happy.
one.
Where is the
Yeah,
adjective?
they look very happy with their work.
Yes, where is the adjective?
Yes.
perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got happy as well. So we've got the adjective happy. So they look very happy with their work. Wonderful. So this is the different ways we can use look. They look very happy in their work. They're smiling in the image. He looks like a student. So can somebody tell me, so why do we think that he looks like a student? Would anybody like to try and tell me, why do we think he looks like a student?
Because in this picture, the boy is trying to understand something, and on the other hand, the woman is trying to make him understand something by showing a picture. So, seeing this scenario, it seems that he must be a student, or maybe a student.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Yeah, maybe. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Maybe a student.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for using that vocabulary. Yeah, absolutely. So they look very happy. He looks like a student. Yeah, he looks like he's being taught, and he looks a little bit younger. Perhaps the lady is trying to assist him. Okay. And then if we look at the third sentence, so it looks like they work together. Now, why do we think this? We might agree or disagree. So who agrees that it looks like they work together? You can put your hand up if you do. Who agrees that they look like they work together? Yep, Dabika?
Yes, definitely, ma'am, because I think they are trying to do something together. Actually, they are sitting together. They are trying to solve something because the woman is trying to describe something to the boy, and she is trying her level best to make him understand that what he has to do. Actually.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So it looks like they work together. They're in a working environment, working as a team, discussing.
Yes, they are working like a team. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, would anybody would anybody else like to try to describe why you think they look like they work together? Would anybody else like to try? Sonia? Yeah.
I think they both are trying. It looks like as if they both are trying to work together because that lady is trying to explain the boy what is she expecting related to the picture, and after that obviously she's expecting that somewhat according to her marks and according to expectations she's wanting the answer from the boy.
Okay, yeah, great. So she's trying to explain to the boy. She's trying to explain to the boy what
yes.
Excellent. So what the expectations are. So we use that preposition there. So explain to the boy what he's doing. Yeah, wonderful. This is really, really, really great. Thank you. It's nice to have everybody's ideas together because you learn again from each other at the same time. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, now the last one, they look very happy in their work. Now, if we look at the image or we remember the image, how do we know that they look very happy in their work? It sounds simple, but how do we know that they look happy? Okay, so let's have it. So maybe we have Dabik, would you like to tell me? Dabika, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. By seeing a magnetic smile on their face, we can understand that they are very happy.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
They are having fun by working together.
Wonderful. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. That's great. Yeah, thank you. And Anjan, did you want to add something?
Yeah, the same answer. That actually their body language, the smiling faces are shown the picture that is they are very confident, and their confidence is being revealed from their faces. Yes. So I think this picture is very inside picture.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's true. The body language is saying something as well. So if we're trying to describe, we can use again, I think perhaps their language perhaps, or maybe is describing that they're enjoying the work that they're doing together. Okay, lovely. Thank you. And Sania, did you want to add something?
I think their expressions or the way they are listening to one another, that is trying to show that they are interested to do the lead, like further they want to take their work. The interest, it is trying to show the interest with one another.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're impressed, they're giving the impression, the body language, as you said, Angela, is positive. Yes, Nia, the way that they're showing, demonstrating in their work is all kind of respective of that, isn't it? Okay, wonderful. That's great. Thank you ever so much. So as we talked about, when you're now all describing the image, we're using this type of language, so our adverbs, to give certainty and uncertainty when we need to discuss something like this. So in terms of what we've looked at so far, we've had the prepositions, the there and theirs, so the plural noun descriptions, and then, yeah, the adverbs that we would use in this type of description as well. You'll also notice, can anybody tell me when we're describing the image, what type of grammar are we using? Are we using present tense or are we using the present continuous? So I think they're talking about their work. So what grammar point are we using here? Would anybody like to try to?
Continuous.
Yeah. So Anjan,
Ma'am, I think it's a present continuous. Yeah, I think it's present continuous tense because.
Yeah, Anjan, yeah.
Yeah, because the action is going on means they are just discussing. So I think that is present continuous tense.
That's great. Yeah, wonderful. That's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're using this. So I think they are working in an office. They are talking about, because we're describing the action and describing what we believe is happening at that moment in the image. So alongside our prepositions and our adverbs, we'd be describing in this type of exam or in this type of description with the present continuous. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got one more thing that I'd like to look at now. So we'll go back down here. Okay, let me just show you. So this is another type of image. Now, thinking about how we've used the prepositions today and what we've been looking at with our adverbs, would anybody like to try to use all of our vocabulary and describe what you can see in my second image? Would anybody like to try to do that? If you'd like to. Yeah. Yes, Sania, would you like to?
Can I try?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, maybe there are two women over there, and they are in a maybe coffee shop, and they are having their coffees, and they are discussing something about in their phone. They are discussing something, and they are chit-chatting over there, and they are laughing whatever the topic is, and they are smiling. That's all.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. So as well here, so we'd say there are, and also just to give a absolutely. Importantly, with the two women, so we'd say there are two women. Okay, so we've got so one woman, two
sitting.
women. Yeah. So if you
they
so
are sitting
Amjad,
in a there were two women in this photo, and they are sitting in something. Means this two script word that I just want to say. There are two women, and it will be they are sitting in a something.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so there are two women and they are sitting. Now, what do they look like they're doing? So they're looking, what do you think they might be discussing, talking about, looking at when we look at their body language? Would anybody like to try to describe to me?
I think they both are friends.
Or if you want to pop if you put their little hand up things, and then I can see who would like to give an answer, and then I can see who would like to. So if you'd like to give an answer, if you put the little sign up, and then I can see that you'd like to give me an answer. Yeah, wonderful. So that's perfect. Thanks very much. So let's try then with so Anjan, you were speaking. So if you want to describe them, please.
Yeah, I think they are discussing something that are on the phone. It may be they're surfing some kind of social network, or they can surfing Google, or they're discussing something that are on the phone, and they are just smiling to see on the phone for the discussion.
Fantastic. Yep. So they're discussing, smiling, is positive. Wonderful. We might add the telephone is in the middle of the people, okay, in front of them using their prepositions, okay. And Debika, would you like to try too?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I think they are two friends, and they are sitting in a coffee shop, and they are busy with chatting with each other, and they are spending a very good time with each other by showing their phone and all, and they are really enjoying this time.
Wonderful.
They are really enjoying each other's company.
That's lovely. Thank you. Wonderful. Yep. So they're enjoying each other's company. We would say spending time together. So spending time together. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. That's lovely. Okay. And would anybody else like to make a comment or discuss what they can see in the image?
I think they both are friends, and basically, obviously, they are spending a time in a coffee shop, and they might be remembering something of the past that they both have spent time together, and they are just having a gala time together with one another.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much, Sania. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they're having a gathering, spending time. So all of these prepositions with the present continuous grammar. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, just for the last 5 minutes of the lesson, just to finish off, so to bring everything together. Now, in the beginning of the lesson, we were looking at the surroundings as well, because this is also very important for the context of the image. So if we look at the surrounding, the background, what type of or time of day, where do you think they are? Where might they be situated? Would anybody like to try and to give me an answer? What do you think they might be? What time of day it might be? Yep. So so Anjan, would you like to try?
Yeah, I think they're sitting in a cafe, and it is a day, and then in the background there may be a park or something else. Some kind of trees are there, and I'm sure that it may be a cafe. It is a cafe, basically. It's a cafe.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. So
they're drinking cappuccino. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, so they're sitting in a cafe, as you said, in the background. So they're sat with the trees in the background, and in the foreground. So here at the front of the image, we can see kind of a cafe table. So we know that probably not at home, but probably outside somewhere. Okay. And Sania, did you want to try to also describe the background? Yeah.
Even I think the same, that they might be seated in one of the cafeterias, and they had a seat near in the gallery area, in the open area of the cafeteria, I think. And the time might be something around 4, 5.
Wonderful. Yeah, excellent. And so here as well, we can add, so yeah, so 4 or 5, because yes.
Sorry, ma'am. It must be a hill station.
It could be did you say a fill station?
Yes.
Okay, so it might be a fill station. So why do you think this?
Yes, hill station, because this kind of trees can be seen in the hill station, actually. That's why I assumed that by seeing this picture, it might be a hill station.
That's great. Okay, yes. So it might actually not be a coffee shop or a bar in a town, but in fact, they might actually just be taking a break. So this might indeed actually change the way that we look at the image too. Okay.
Yes.
And so finally, looking at the two women, would anybody like to comment on what relationship you think the two women have? Who do you think they are?
I think they are friends.
Friends? Yeah. And why do you think that?
Yeah, I think they are friends. They are friends.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Anja. Yeah. And Devika, what do you think?
I think they could be sister also, because their pattern of the hair are same and they are look alike. So this resemblance, I can assume that they could be sister also.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So we can say like the pattern, or we can even use
hair, yes, skin color, and the resemblance of their face. Yes. Seeing these all, it seems they could be the sister also.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, yes, fantastic. Yeah, so they could be sisters, perhaps, as you said. They look quite similar. They have a similar hairstyle. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Right. Well, I'm just going to close up the screen. So just to recap on what we've looked at today. So we've gone through some of the prepositions and describing the image, using the present continuous to describe the actions that we're seeing, and looking at the plural and singular use of describing the subjects in the image too. And it's been so nice today to listen to you all and to speak to you all of you together. Some of you I can see, some of you I can't see, but it's been really, really, really nice to meet you all. Have you enjoyed today?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. And we are really, I have really enjoyed this session, and thank you so very much.
It's my pleasure.
Information.
That's my pleasure. No, really, it's really, really lovely to meet you all. It's
It's
always fun when you've got everybody and you have to organize it, but it's gone really well. So thank you. It's been lovely to meet you all, and I hope you have a lovely evening this evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for a lovely, this lovely class. Thank you.